There's actually quite a few grand openings this year, and it's incredible. I love to shop there, and I'm just saying that because, like I said, I'm sponsored by Menards. They have a heck of a selection.
Yeah, that's what I grew up on. So every time I keep looking at your hat, I'm like, man, Menards. We need a Menards here. Is there a good question out there we can go to?
I have one. Okay, go for it. For Matt, do you run any late models?
I've ran the dirt late models one time last year at Tucson, and I was a flop in it. Like I said, I struggled. I ran the modifieds. I ran the dirt modifieds.
Does it relate to when y'all run the trucks?
Absolutely nothing alike. Nothing. Those cars are so different. Everything you've ever thought you knew about driving a race car, especially an asphalt car, you throw 100% out the door. And standing on the gas on entry to get it up on the bars to make a turn, don't work in the trucks.
All right, right here. What was it like running at North Wilkesboro?
Yeah, and the North Wilkesboro and Bowman Gray, those are two historic racetracks. I wish that North Wilkesboro was still open. I thought it was a great short track race to go to. I really enjoyed it. I thought that was just a very cool race. That place is very unique. It's wore out, but I think that puts on the best racing. So for anybody that was there, I thought it was a great show. I'd love to go back if we ever get the chance. The only thing that sketched me out was the elevator lift. That thing was probably built in about 1960, and I think it was the same thing there when we were there a couple of years ago. So that was the only sketchy part about the weekend, but a lot of fun.
Chase, last night your father got inducted to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, a huge honor. How was it like seeing your dad experience that?
Yeah, I think, for me, I was just happy to be here and happy to be a part of it with him. That was just such a great honor, and I'm a little biased, but I think he's very well deserving of it. And you sit there and you watch all the stories of those racers, those legends, just really grows my respect level, and those guys are true racers. Well, we can think what we want about being racers now, those guys were true racers. And just listening to some of those stories is great. Really makes me want to just take in more. Like the things we're seeing right now is unbelievable, and I'm looking forward to telling those stories down the road.
And what's probably the best advice your father has given you?
That's a good one too. He's given me a lot of tips, I guess, here or there. I think one that I think kind of applies everywhere is trying to be open-minded and not get too set in your ways. Anything that you do, the sport's always going to change. Things are always going to be different from year to year. We see rule changes every season. It seems like, and that's just a part of racing. And you see guys adapt to it quicker than others. And I think just having a good open mindset will hopefully allow you to get used to those changes quicker. So I think that'd be one.
All right.
This guy right there.
I think I know what this guy did. He was telling me about it when we were fixing to leave Homestead. So, but that was where I spent a lot of my time and did a little short track racing too. So, a little bit of both of those things pretty much took up all my off season.
I spent a majority of the winter in California, where it's a lot warmer than the snow. I have an off-road buggy that I race out and play out in the desert, and I spent majority, I'd say at least a month out there this winter. I said a lot of fun, a lot warmer.
Is that what you thought he did, Chase?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we were talking a lot about it. We were taking our pictures in Homestead after the Cup race on, I guess, Sunday night, and he was telling me he's headed to California, so I'm sure it's a good time.
West Coaster. Well, a big year for you. I mean, in your rookie season, winning the championship, that's huge. How do you go into this season with that kind of momentum?
Well, I think you kind of take it as a new year and realize that last year is last year, and just because we had success at times last year doesn't mean this year is going to go well, and you kind of have to reset, I think, a little bit, and just go and do your job, keep things simple.
All right, in 2013 and 14 champion, everybody's pushing for this coming year. Does that give you a lot of pressure?
No, I just take it, like I said, just another year, to be totally honest. Go out there and do the job that you're supposed to do. And if they build fast trucks and have the luck. I mean, they built very, very good trucks the last 2 years and had all the luck on our side. So if we do that again this year, we should be fine.
All right, and Chase, exciting news, as everyone knows, 2016, you're taking over the 24 car. How was it like when, you give a round of applause, that's pretty awesome. How was it like when you got that phone call from Rick Hendrick?
That was a crazy phone call, and one that I honestly was not really expecting. I really didn't know anything about Jeff's announcement until the morning that he was going to do it. I got a call from Mr. Hendrick, and he told me that Jeff was going to announce this stuff about 10:30 that morning, and he told me that he would like for me to be the guy that goes in 2016, and that was just a crazy phone call to get, and one that I was not expecting. He called me about 7 o'clock that morning, and it woke me up. So that was a good way to wake up for sure. So great opportunity.
And then I heard you got another phone call.
Wait, did I?
I heard Jeff Gordon.
I did, yes.
Rang
I did.
your phone, and we just interviewed your dad, and he said that we should ask you about that other phone call.
For sure, yeah. Jeff called me. It was just a few days later, but we had a great conversation, and I think for me it was just good to hear all this stuff from him, and we haven't really talked a lot. That was kind of the first phone call we've had in the discussion about this stuff. I didn't want to, call and bother about the stuff that that he announced last week. I kind of wanted to give it a little time, and I was just going to call and congratulate him on everything he's accomplished and wish him luck. Aside from all this, whenever I found out about 2016, so just a great phone call, and just hearing the words that he had to say, letting me know that more or less he is supportive of everything. Made me feel a lot better about it. He told me about the number situation and him wanting to keep the number 24 Hendrick Motorsports and keeping that a part of the family there. And he wanted me to be in that car. So that really went a long way with me. And that was an exciting phone call for sure.
Congratulations.
Does it give you a lot of pressure? Is that those are big shoes to fill?
Well, yeah, I mean, as I've said, I'm not trying to fill Jeff's shoes. That's something that I don't think you can do. I think Jeff Gordon is irreplaceable. He's a legend in the sport, and the best thing I can do is just go and be me and just try to be the best racer I can be, and beyond that, it's kind of out of my control. So I'll try to give my best shot 2016, and but at the same time, it's still a lot of racing. We're still a whole year away from that, so I have to keep that in mind and really keep your priorities straight between now and then, and try to just learn as much as I can this season to try to be ready to go.
Absolutely. And Matt Crafton, back-to-back championships. Obviously, you guys are doing something right, but are there